What's up, guys? Sunday, September 22nd, 2024, MMAOB Daily Podcast. I'm your host, as always, Adam Martin. And I'm joined by my co-host here, Mr. Big Marcel. We're going to preview UFC Paris Moicano versus Saint-Denis. And we'll talk about contender series as well. We'll recap last week's card, preview this week's card. Marcel, how's it going, man? Glad to have you back on the show. Sunday afternoon, or Sunday evening, I should say. For you, it's actually Monday morning, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of, it's 1:30. But I'm good, man. How about you?
I'm good. Thanks for bearing with us, Marcel. Doing it a little bit later. I kind of wanted to see what happened at those 4 p.m. football games. They're over, and I had to drop my daughter off, so everything's good. Back home now, Marcel, ready to go. I'm with you guys for the next hour or so, previewing UFC Paris with Marcel, and then we'll do a quick fight announcements and questions and answers, whatever after that. But we'll go through UFC Paris first. Do you want to get some comments, and then we'll get into it. We got Antoine in the chat as always. Glad to have you here, man. Glad to have you from the get go. Joe, what's up, man? Glad to have you here. Eagles, Joe. That was a big win. I just saw the Dallas game. They lost too, so huge win for you guys. They did have the Eagles as an underdog this week, so that was a good one. What's up, Larry? Glad to have you here. Yeah, it's a pretty good card, I think. I think it's solid. Well, I'll get Marcel's thoughts in a sec. Tristan, glad to have you here, man. I didn't watch the Brave thing, Brave CF's card. Did you watch it, Marcel? Brave?
Yeah, I saw the outcomes, man. It was actually in the Netherlands over here. So.
It was. Oh, okay. Is what's his name? Mikhaev in Brave?
Yeah, I think he is, but he hasn't got matched up yet.
Yeah, that's interesting. But that's good. That's a good sign for them. Saint Collectibles, glad to have you too, man. I'm not going to read the other comment by you, Marcel. big dickhead. I'm not going to read your comment. Anyways, we're going to get into the UFC Paris preview, Marcel. Like I say, I always ask you before we get into the card, just your overall thoughts on this one. I think we have 12 or 13 fights. What do you think of this week's card?
I mean, it's a pretty decent card, man, and more than decent, I would say. I think there are some fights on the card that should be higher, actually, than they are. I think it's a pretty good card, man. Looking forward to it.
I misspoke. It's 14 fights. My apologies, because they did add those last 2 fights. So we got, well, I should say the last minute fight. Alex, our good friend Alex the Jinx Bakunin broke, Marcel. Taylor Lapilus, Vince Morales. Was Taylor Lapilus supposed to be on this card? Like, were they looking for an opponent? Is that what happened, or what?
Yeah, Taylor Lapilus was actually supposed to fight Felipe Lima.
Oh, that's right.
But what I've heard is that not both sides signed the contract or whatever, because something happened. Cannot go into details, but something happened. But nothing bad or anything, like drug related or whatever. But something happened, and Lapilus was without an opponent, and they got Vince Morales. So I'm happy for Vince, man. I mean, good for him.
He's a good dude, and he had a nice little run there on the regional scene. I think he won 5 or 6 straight fights, so it's nice to see him back in the UFC. 4? Oh, 4, okay.
He won against Hunter Azure in his last fight.
That's a nice win. Hunter Azure's UFC veteran too. All right, couple comments here, Larry. Yes, we'll break down contender series, and we'll recap last week's card too.
Yeah.
Antoine, love it when they make the countries a year thing. I think UFC Paris is it is a yearly thing, once a year now. I don't mind it at all. I think it's a good market. They love MMA there, right? So.
For sure, and it's legal now there. So
yeah, I mean, I'm gonna ask you. You would know more than me. I know that it was just legalized a few years ago, but they had that 100% promotion. They were running for years. So was it unsanctioned or what? I don't understand.
I have honestly no idea, man. For example, do you remember Carl Amusu?
Yeah, of course.
He got. I think he won a belt in Cage Warriors, and he represented Germany. Because he didn't want to represent France. He was like, listen, if you don't legalize my sport, why should I represent you,
I remember him from Bellator, of course. Gomi Britu? Is that what happened here?
No, I have no idea, man. What's up, Tristan?
I don't know. Tristan, did you hear something? I thought it was still on. Yeah, I know. I don't think it's 14, but still a good number of fights. I mean, for me, here's the thing, I'd say the more the better on each fight night, because you're already booking off that night to watch the fights. So I'm fine with 14, 15. I actually prefer 15 if anything. It's just I wouldn't mind that 1 week off. We just had a week off. I should say, by the way, we have Craig in the chat. Glad to have you here. But it was nice to have a week off, Marcel. I don't know about you, but it's nice to recharge the batteries, right? We've talked about this.
I finally have some smart promotions like a CFFC, who's UFC has a week off. We're gonna do it
Saturday night. Yeah, that was huge for them. I didn't watch the card, but I mean, I know there's a lot of fans, including our boy Zach.
I think Tristan meant that Brito wants that Evloev fight. You know what I mean?
So. Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I think this fight's still on, but anyway, we'll talk about that in a sec. All right. So we got your thoughts on it, Marcel. My thoughts are, I think it's a pretty good card. I want to say it's a 7.5, 8 out of 10. I mean, it's kind of crazy because I almost think I almost think overall it's better card than UFC 306, which we saw 2 weeks ago. It just doesn't have the big names as that card. But like, I think there's better fights, like in some respects. I mean,
besides the 2 title fights and Ortega and Lopez fight, a lot of these fights have more meaning to the divisions, I think, you know.
I think it's a good card. I think it's a solid card. I think the France fans will show out. They always do, and I'm looking forward to the card. All right, let's go through the card. We'll start with the first fight of the night, guys. It is a lightweight bout between Bolaji Oki taking on Chris Duncan. Wait, hold on. I got to do my Scottish accent better, right? Chris Duncan. Is that okay? How do you say it? How would you say it?
Correct. Chris Duncan.
Love it. All right, go through this. Okay, let's start with this one here. We got Oki, who is he's from Belgium, right? I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Minus 218. So the Belgian taking on the Scot, Chris Duncan, plus 180. I'll start on this one, Marcel. I think it's a fun fight to kick off the card, actually. I think both guys are solid fighters. Chris Duncan's pretty good. I mean, he's been in the UFC for a little bit now, and he's kind of proven he belongs. But I think Bolaji Oki is the fighter with the higher ceiling here. I like him better as a fighter, to be honest with you. He's a little bit younger, not a huge age difference. Chris Duncan's 31, but Oki's 28 right now, so not a huge age difference, but a little bit in Oki's favor. I just think he's got more upside, man. I don't think he had a great UFC debut, right, against that Timmy Kwamba guy, split decision. But the guy who fought that Dylan Salvador guy in Contender Series, if that's the guy that shows up here, I think he wins. So I'm banking on that because that guy looked amazing. And again, you know, some guys have kind of mediocre UFC debuts. I just think he's got more potential. I know Duncan's solid. He's had a nice little run, 2-1 in the UFC. Not bad, but I think he's a guy that's beatable. So I'm going with Bolaji Oki. And you know what, Marcel? I think he can knock him out. Honestly, I think he can finish him. If not, I think he will win a decision. So I think he's got a few paths to victory here. I do like him in this fight. I think the line's gone up a little bit. I looked at it. It was a little bit lower the other day, but I think he's the right side. I think Oki wins, and I think he gets 2-0 in the UFC after this one. What do you think?
Fun fight, man. I mean, Oki loves to strike. We know that's a fact, you know. The ground game with Oki, he didn't look good against Kwamba in the second round, I remember.
No. Yep.
And but Duncan is also a guy who loves to just fight, stand and bang a lot, you know. His ground game is okay, but yeah, I'm with you actually, man. I'm also going with Oki here. I think it's a competitive fight. It's a fun one. It's a good one to open the card. Oki, yeah, also by stoppage probably. That's what I think as well.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think he can win by decision too. So to me, he has several paths to victory here. Got Anakin in chat. Glad to have you here, man. And Joe, I like the card too. By the way, Antoine said prospect. I mean, I don't know if I consider Chris Duncan a prospect. Do you?
I don't know. I don't think he's not that young anymore, right?
31. So
yeah.
But then again, if he was in the heavyweight division, that's really young.
Then you are a prospect, probably, yeah. But
you're 40 years old. You're a prospect at heavyweight, right? So
yeah, true.
Anyways, I definitely think Oki's a good prospect. So we have the same pick there. Let's go to the next fight here, guys. Marcel says this is going to be Jacqueline Cavalcanti versus Nora Cornolle. This isn't on the UFC stats, but Marcel, I'm going to trust his bout order here, Marcel. So we'll go to that fight next.
It's a very smart thing to do from you to trust my bout order.
I do, dude. I always tell people, like, you know, everyone says, you know, trust MMA fighting. I say, nope, trust Marcel, right, Marcel? I always tell everyone.
Trust both.
Yeah, no, they're good too. But anyways, Cavalcanti minus 175, Cornolle plus 135. Yeah, I mean, I like Cavalcanti in this fight. I know she just fought, and she had a close fight, guys. I mean, honestly, I know a lot of people thought she won every round, but I also seen people think that, you know, Nunes won. But regardless, like, I just think she's the better fighter here. And yes, she did fight recently, so it's kind of short notice for her here, but she didn't take too much damage in that fight. I think her weight's down. And again, Marcel mentioned this last week. They have fought before. They fought before in 2021. It's a rematch, and Cavalcanti won that fight. She is the younger fighter here, 27 years old, so considerably younger. And then the other thing is, I just think she's the better fighter overall, Marcel. Now I will say, Cornolle looked pretty good in that last fight, man, with Melissa Mullins. I got to give her credit. That finish was really nice. It was a great finish. The The problem is she did miss weight. She would have won a bonus otherwise. It was a nice finish. So I'm going to give her credit. And she's on a nice win streak. She lost that fight to Cavalcanti and hasn't lost since then. So there is some stuff to like about her here. But again, 34 years old, quite a bit older here. She is the hometown fighter, so that's another advantage for her. Don't get me wrong. I mean, she's got a chance to win here because she's a pretty good fighter and she's going to land. But I still think, like, in a 3-round fight, which I think it goes to 50 minutes, I think Cavalcanti can outpoint her and win. It's definitely worth noting, though, that, like, again, the last fight she got pushed backwards and the judges were kind of iffy on it. So I hope she's a little bit more aggressive here, Cavalcanti. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to get her. I'm going to pick her to win the fight, Marcel. I'm going to get her by decision here. That's my pick. And I think she gets the job done even on the short notice. What do you think?
So, yeah, I mean, Nora was really disappointed with the round of me not fighting, obviously. And now she gets Cavalcanti. She lost to her. That was her first MMA fight. She made the transition from kickboxing to MMA. Yeah, I mean, if you look at Cavalcanti last time, she got 2 wins in the UFC. She defeated Zara Fern, but who didn't. And then she beat Josiane Nunes in a close fight, but she won the fight. Cornolle, like you said, she had a close fight with Edwards. I actually thought that Edwards did enough. That was also in Paris last year, but the Cornolle got the win, and she got that great knockout win over Melissa Mullins, what I didn't expect to happen.
It was a nice win.
Yeah. I think this is a super close fight, this one, in my opinion, And I take in mind this is in Paris. I think it goes to decision. I'm going to split decision Nora Cornolle here. I think it will be a super close fight. I think Cavalcanti might even win here, but, man, we're in France. We're in the home country of one fighter. If this goes to a close decision,
yeah,
I think they probably go for the home fighter. So I'm having the underdog here with Nora Cornolle.
Okay, there you go. You got a dog pick, and she's a plus 135 dog. I am curious to see what judges they use. If I'm not mistaken, they use the American judges, but I'm not.
I mean, they suck as well. 60%.
No, I know, and they're going to get swayed by the crowd too. Like, and I think that'll affect some of the other fights, especially. But yeah, I mean, it's a competitive fight. I don't think it's a washout. By the way, I'm looking at the rankings. Like, I think that Cavalcanti should have taken Nunes's spot. Like, I don't think Chelsea Chandler should be ranked at all. She has no wins in this division. Why is she ranked? That's not fair. That's not fair, man. Straight up. The UFC rankings are such a joke. I mean, we talk about this all the time. They suck. We got hype in the chat. Glad to have you here, man. All right, so we got a split pick there, but that's okay. Nice to have some dissension. All right, let's go to the next fight here, guys. And this one comes to you in the flyweight division. Men's flyweight, Daniel Barez takes on Victor Altamirano. And Barez minus 120, small favorite. Altamirano plus 100. I'll get your thoughts on this one. You can start.
Yeah, so Danny Barez, he had that short notice fight, his debut in the UFC against Jeff Alfilo.
Great fight.
Yeah, he did look good early on, but then he lost by submission also early in the fight.
It's a fun fight.
Yeah, Danny was like, he was out for some time. I think he got attacked by his former coach in Spain, and he had some fractures in his face. He's now recovered, thank God, and he's back. Victor Altamirano, he's like, it's such a difficult fighter for me to pick all the time. You know what I mean? It's like he had a difficult start in the UFC with a split decision, lost to Carlos Hernandez, which one you called, I remember, and I was on Altamirano's side. So then you got 2 wins. And the Tim Elliott fight, I think we both picked Tim Elliott in that fight, and Tim did it. And after that, actually, I think the Felipe Dos Santos fight, I think he should have won that fight actually last
I
time
agree.
in Mexico. So that said, if you look at it from a total perspective, I think Barez is a good fighter, but I favor Altamirano here, man. I think he has fought tougher competitors. Still kind of a liability to me because he makes it close fights a lot of times, but I'm taking a decision when here for Altamirano getting back on track, man.
He's a plus 100 underdog, so you know what to do.
There we go.
All right, guys, guess what? For the first time in probably a month, we have a consensus dog. Hit the button. Let's go, baby. Come on. Let's go, Marcel. I'm with you on this one. Listen, I think Barez is a fun fighter. I'm glad he's in the UFC. I really like this fight with Fido. And also his fight with Carlos Hernandez, a contender, was a very close fight. He's got a nice record, tons of finishes, but also that's not a great thing in some aspects because, he's finishing these guys, but he doesn't have a ton of experience going 50 minutes, whereas Altamirano, I looked at his record today, only been finished once ever. He's a guy that's very, very durable. He always goes a distance, almost always. In the UFC, I think he's performed well. He's 2-3, but I do think he should have won that last fight. He had more strikes and he had 9 takedowns, so it doesn't really make sense he lost that fight. And if you watched it, I think most people were like, "Wow," like it was competitive, but I think it was the bad decision. So, you know what? If he's fighting like a strong wrestler, I'd probably go against him here, Marcel. But he's not. I think Barez is like, he's got some grappling, obviously, but I don't think he's the best wrestler. I think Altamirano, he's got some advantages here. Taller fighter, longer reach, younger fighter, more UFC experience. And again, tons of experience going the distance, more durable. I think he has like almost all the advantages in this fight, to be honest with you. So the takedown defense is the only concern, I think. But I think even if Barez gets him down in the first round, which is possible, I don't think he finishes. And as the fight goes on, I think it favors Altamirano. So it could be one of those fights where it's like Barez wins the first round and then Altamirano wins 2 and 3. But I'm going with Altamirano, Marcel. I'm with you on this one. We have a consensus dog, and it's nice to have a consensus dog here, man. We haven't had one of those in a while. Antoine says, what are you sipping on? I think it's a Monster, right?
Yeah, it's Pipeline Punch. Monster Punch energy.
How is it?
It's good, man. It's one of my favorites. It's this one and the Bad Apple. Those two are, and the Orange Dreamsicle. Those 3 are my favorites.
There you go. Yeah, I think he should be favored, Altamirano, like a slight favorite. So I think the odds should be flipped. I think he should be the -120 favorite. Again, he has most of the advantages. I guess Barez does train in Spain. He lives in Spain, right? I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I guess time zone wise, I guess it's better for him, but I still favor El Magnifico, which is an awesome nickname, by the way. Let's go to the next fight here, guys. We have, all right, Ailin Perez taking on Daria Zhelezniakova. This is a hard name to pronounce, and on the UFC media page, they don't have her pronunciation. How do you pronounce it?
I would say Zhelezniakova, I would say.
Daria Zhelezniakova. Okay. Oh, I appreciate that. I'm not great at pronouncing this name. And again, there was no pronunciation guide for this one, Marcel, so I'm winging this one. Anyways, as you'd imagine, Ailin Perez, -270, big favorite. Daria +220. I think it's hilarious that Ailin Perez starts shaking her ass and then she calls up Kayla Harrison and they give her a girl that like is completely unranked and that no one really knows who she is. I thought that's hilarious. It just shows you what the UFC really thinks about Ailin Perez. I don't think they're that high on her. I don't think they are, Marcel, because I think if they were, they'd give her a bigger step up in competition.
Yeah.
I don't think they think that she's all that. I mean, she's definitely a good grappler. There's no doubt her wrestling's strong. In the UFC alone, she has, I'm counting them up right now, 19 takedowns in 4 fights, including 10 against Ashley Evans-Smith, which was a record. But beating Ashley Evans-Smith is not that great of a win in 2023, which was last year. Lucia Pudilova, I mean, she's cut. It's like very mid. And then Jocelyn Edwards, she did win that fight. I'm going to give her credit for that one because it was a close fight and she got that nice knockdown and won the fight. I think it was a spinning back fist. So I'll give her credit. I mean, she's got good wrestling. I just don't think she's overall that great of a fighter. And I think she really she promotes herself using her assets, right, Marcel? Her assets.
Yeah, you would love to motorboat that, right?
Oh, I mean, Marab's doing that. So the champ's doing that.
Jeez, okay.
You saw the video, right? You saw the video.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I kind of remember. Yeah, I tried to get it off my mind.
And she has OnlyFans. We've seen the videos too, right? I'm pretty sure, Marcel, with Ailin.
Yeah, we've seen the video. Somebody sent it to us, but we won't say who.
It's pretty hardcore. That's what I'm going to say. It really is. She's an okay fighter, man. I mean, she's got good wrestling. I think just because this division's weak, she can win some fights. But I do find it interesting they're doing this fight. Like, I just think it's an interesting matchup. This girl is kind of an unknown still. She had I think it was an upset, right, in her last fight against Montserrat Rendon, who's also a kind of a grappling-based fighter. And she did get taken down, but again, outstruck her. So I kind of find that interesting. She is a lot bigger too, a lot taller, a little bit younger. Like she actually has some advantages here, Daria. So I don't know, man. This is kind of a sneaky one. I actually think there's a chance the underdog can win this fight. I wouldn't play Perez. I did like her in the last fight against Edwards because she doesn't have great takedown defense, but this girl is to me a little bit more of a wild card. So I'll take Perez to win a decision, Marcel. But honestly, I think it's a fight that I think it could go either way. I wouldn't be surprised either way, man. If she stuffs the takedowns, I think she wins. So close decision for Perez, but I do think she'll just get those key takedowns at the right time to edge it out. But I just don't find her like that great of a fighter. And I think the UFC feels the same way. And that's why they gave her this fight against an unranked opponent who's kind of unknown instead of giving her, because they could have given her a ranked opponent at least. They didn't, right? So I found that interesting. Anyways, what do you think?
So while you think about motorboating her ass,
Dude, I don't find her that attractive.
I mean, either.
Probably wouldn't find me attractive either, but I'm just saying, like, she's not my favorite on the roster, that's for sure.
Yeah. I'm going against you in this one. I'm going with Daria. So let's
hit the button. 3 straight underdogs for Marcel. Marcel, who let the dogs out?
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a close fight, man. I think it honestly can go either way. I think if Perez throws in the wrestling, she can win the fight. But I think Daria will do enough damage to get at least 2 of the 3 rounds, and I think she wins the decision here. Yeah. Will be another close fight. Can be another split decision. I see it's like a typical women fight where I can see both women win, and it will be super close. So yeah, I'm taking the dog here.
I think the time to come to fade Perez is coming soon. I almost said that wrong. Oops. I think the time to fade her is coming soon. Not the time to come. I said that wrong myself.
Jeez.
I know. Jesus. You got my head all wrapped up, man. Anyways, yeah, I mean, I think it's a close fight. And honestly, you're always talking me into taking the dog because plus 200. I mean, I think she's got a chance. Like, I saw her pass. It's dog her pass, guys.
Well, talking about as we're talking about coming, now you're talking about the dog. What's up?
I don't know what we're talking about. Perez is massive. I mean, she's definitely like strong, but again, I'm looking at the actual biometrics. Daria is 4 inches taller, has 2 inches of reach, so she's on paper the bigger, taller fighter. But again, Perez is pretty strong. I know that's where she has to cut all the weight from. It's hard for her, right? Yeah. Her arch is crazy. She's OnlyFans. Dude, she's like hardcore videos, bro. It's like, I'm not even joking. Yeah. All these girls, man, it's crazy. We talked about Kate Hansen. Did we talk about her recently too? Like fully hardcore. It's crazy what they post, bro. People don't care anymore, man, honestly. Like, we're talking about because it's out there. You know, it's not like she's hiding it.
I mean, I remember back in the day, like Chandala Powell, the ring girl. She got how do you say that? She got left for fired from the UFC for doing some naked shoots, you know?
Chandela was great, man. Go and Google those pictures too, guys. You'll see them. She was good. I think she was in Playboy. I can't remember. I know that Ariane and Brittany did Playboy. Yeah. They didn't care about that.
No.
Anyways, but yeah, OnlyFans, I mean, again, some OnlyFans are just, you know, remember Diego Sanchez had OnlyFans and people or what's his name? I know, you know, that was funny because that was that crazy guy I think was running at that
Josh Fabia.
I think he was running. I could be wrong. But I was thinking, I remember when Billy Corntillo had I don't know if he has an OnlyFans anymore, but he did.
Yeah, I always annoy him with it. So
yeah, I remember someone posted it like on his, because I follow Billy. He's funny. They tweeted to him. They're like, "Do you get to see your dong?" And he's like, "Maybe." You got to sign. I thought that was so fucking funny. But no, it's just like training videos. I think, unfortunately, Ariane De Silva Lipsky, she has that just like training videos. It's not like her naked or anything. But then there's some girls and guys probably that do like naked, Marcel, just like pictures of them nude. But then there's some girls that have like fully hardcore porn videos. Honestly, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah, I have personally more respect for somebody like Ariane Lipsky. You know, she looks beautiful, but she's she's
amazing.
Yeah, but she's not like selling herself on the internet. You know,
she's making a few bucks off it, but not as much as she could make. I'm sure she could make way more, bro. If she did that, but you know, she's married. She's got other things that she's worried about. So let's go to the next fight here, guys. We have Taylor Lapilus taking on Vince Morales, and again, our boy Alex Bahuna broke this fight, so we got to give him credit. I think the odds are out. Minus 355 for Taylor, plus 280 for Vince. Unfortunately, I think Vince Morales loses the fight, Marcel. I mean, I like the guy. Nice little win streak here, but I don't think he wins this fight. I just think Taylor Lapilus is going to sprawl and brawl his way to a win. And by the way, Marcel, 5 straight wins. You were wrong. It's not 4, it's 5 for Vince. So there you go. He has 5 straight wins. So he's nice streak. So you said 4, right? So it's 5.
I said 5. No, I said
5. I thought you had 4 fingers up.
I said
4. You did. Dude, we have video proof, bro.
No.
Anyways, I mean, listen, he's a decent fighter. I think that he kind of had tough matchups in his first run. Glad to see him back, but I just think, Taylor Lapilus, very solid fighter, good striking, pretty good wrestling. He's in his hometown. I just think this fight really favors him. Full camp, everything. So Lapilus, to me, is one of the more strong picks in the card for me. Minus 355. It's big odds, but it's a fight that I'm pretty confident he wins. And also, I think he wins by decision. What do you think?
You see, I say 5. You see? Yeah, it was New Year yesterday. I lost
I didn't see that. That's right.
Listen, man, I love Vince Morales. He's a great dude. I always joke with him. I always put a mustache on his lip on the pictures. Because
you
I
do it
think
for this one too. You did it for this one or no?
Yeah, you should check the fight announcement on Twitter. I did it.
Oh, okay,
the
okay,
tweet
Twitter,
under it.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
not on Instagram. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy for Morales. He's back, but man, Lapilus is a really difficult fight. I think here.
Yeah.
I think it will go to decision, but I'm picking Lapilus here, man. But
Yeah.
man, if Morales wins this one, would be great to see that he has a great comeback in the UFC. But gotta go with Lapilus here in front of his own fans. Dude is super tough. We saw it the last year against Kellen Loughran when he came back. Yeah, I'm picking Lapilus here.
All right, there we go. Let's go to the next fight here, guys. And I mean, this looks like a mismatch, to be honest with you. It looks like a big mismatch. Ludovit Klein taking on Roosevelt Roberts. And originally it was supposed to be AJ Cunningham, which was an even bigger mismatch.
No.
What, wasn't it?
It was supposed to be Nicholas Motta.
Nicholas Motta, that's right. My apologies. It was, Cunningham was supposed to fight.
Charriere.
My bad. Sorry, guys. There was a few mixed up with this card. But yeah. But I think he would have probably won that fight too. But yeah, I mean, this fight, minus 800 for Klein, plus 550 Roberts. Credit to Roberts for taking the fight. I looked at his record, and he hasn't fought since last year when he took that fight against Tausch Robeski. So they're just giving him these brutal fights. Hopefully they give him one more because he's probably going to lose this fight. I think Klein destroys him, to be honest with you, Marcel. I think Klein can win any way he wants. Klein is one of the best fighters in his weight class right now. He's so well-rounded, great striking, really good ground game. He's just coming into his own, dude. I mean, he's looked amazing. Big fan of Ludovit Klein, and my apologies because he obviously beat AJ Cunningham in his last fight. Or 2 fights ago, I should say, 2 fights ago. He's looked great. He had those back-to-back losses earlier. I think he should have beat Trezano. The Nate Landwehr fight, though, was a huge upset at that time.
Yeah.
In hindsight, not so bad because Nate's actually pretty good.
Bro, I remember we were talking about that. There was one luck on the card. I
remember you said to me, you're like, there's no reason to pick Nate Landwehr. You actually said that. I remember. And then you saw what happened. That was, yeah. But anyways, yeah, I think he can beat Roberts any way he wants. I'm going to check Roberts' record really quick to see how he loses. It's been knocked out. It's been submitted. I think he probably gets knocked out here. I think Klein knocks out Roberts. What do you think?
Yeah, man, Roosevelt Roberts with the great tattoo, money over bitches.
Are you serious? That's amazing.
Yeah, MOB in the front and this on his chest. Yeah, I think Klein should win here. I mean, it's like it's Klein's fight to lose, pretty much, in my opinion. He got to win here, and even if he wins, what does he get from it? He should have fought a top 15 guy after he beat Moses.
Yeah.
So I don't understand the matchmaking, to be honest. Listen, also with the Motta one. Listen, I like Nicholas Motta a lot, but Klein deserves a top 15 ranked opponent, man. So I don't know what the hesitation here with the UFC is. I know Roberts is short notice. Klein wins, man. I listen, all good. I hope for Roberts that he doesn't give a good match, but Klein is just too good, I think.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. All right, let's get that next fight here. We have Oumar Sy taking on Dawoon Jung, who has a different name spelling now, Marcel, who used to be a different guy. And since he changed his name, he's been terrible. He hasn't won since he changed the spelling of his name. Yeah, the odds for this one are heavy, too. Minus 500 for Oumar, plus 340 Dawoon. I mean, you have to take Oumar here, right? Undefeated guy, good finishing ability, taking a guy 3 straight losses. He's from France. I mean, it's pretty obvious what they're trying to do here. And I don't really see him losing this fight. A lot of submissions, a lot of knockouts. I'm kind of looking at Dawoon Jung. Is 5 losses, 2 submission, 1 knockout. Yeah, I mean, because it's in France, he might probably put on the show and knock him out. But I actually think he probably submits him. I mean, I'm not going to overthink this. Oumar Sy wins. What do you think?
I think if he doesn't finish him, you will wrestle him into oblivion. You know what I mean? It's like it takes him down, either ground and pound or he works for a submission. I think he finishes him. He's been early probably this time. I'm definitely going with C here. I'm not convinced yet by the ceiling of C. I have to see more.
Terrible.
But that wasn't even on purpose. But yeah, I think C wins, but. I want to see him fight like a good grappler, actually, because his grappling is pretty decent. I want to see him against a better grappler. And Jung is not the fighter who's going to test him there, I think. So, yeah, for me, C.
Yep, I'm with you. All right. You guys think he can go far? See?
Yeah,
He looks
just
pretty
answer.
good. Looks pretty good, right?
I have to see more, but I think he's decent, so far.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the next fight here. I think this is the prelim main event, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ion Cutelaba, Ivan Erslan making his UFC debut. I'll get your thoughts on him in a second. The odds are, I think they're pretty close. Yeah, minus 120 for Ion, plus 100 for Ivan, or Yvonne maybe. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce it, but this could be a weird fight. It's a weird matchup because Ion he's obviously in the UFC for a while now. He's a fun fighter, but he's been terrible, for the most part. Occasionally he can knock you out. He has some nice wins, obviously. The Khalil Roundtree win is nice. The Bozier win was nice too, but very, very finishable, bad durability. But it's Ivan guy's got some power, but at the same time, like, man, I mean, I don't know. What am I missing here? Like, this guy is 32. He's 2-2 in his last 4 fights. Like, I don't really understand why he's in the UFC. I'm really confused. He got knocked out 2 fights ago. It's just very odd to me. I know he had a nice little run in KSW and he fought some pretty good fighters there, so I'll give him some credit. But to me, it's just odd that a guy that's has so many recent losses is in the UFC. It's kind of weird. He might win just because Ion is like such a flake and you can't trust him. But I'm going to pick Ion to knock this guy out. Just more experience in the UFC and he's more proven to me. So I'll pick Ion, but I don't trust him. I wouldn't bet on this fight. I'm going to pick him to win by knockout, though. What do you think?
That's a difficult fight to pick here. You got 2 guys who love to finish, but if you look at Ion Cutelaba, he's like super inconsistent with his fights. Yeah. Ivan Erslan, he has looked good in his last fight against Bogdan Gnitko, where he knocked him out in 1 minute, and Gnitko was a pretty decent fighter. At the same time, like you said, he lost 2 of his last 4 fights, but he still did it against good competition. I think Ibrahim Chudzigayev is pretty good, and Haratik is good as well, But yeah, it's an odd signing, I think. But I'm going with Cutelaba is probably the favorite, right?
Small favorite, minus 120.
Yeah,
it's close.
I'm going again with the underdog. I think it's super close. I'm going with Erslan. I think he knocks out Cutelaba probably.
You can hit the button if you want.
You go.
4 underdogs for Marcel. Love it. Tristan likes the under in this fight. Yeah, I think that probably hits too. All right, let's go to the next fight here. Main card opening bout. Perez Ziam taking on Matt Frevola. Fun fight here, Marcel. Could potentially be boring too. We'll see. Ziam slight favorite, minus 120. Frevola plus 100. So very, very close odds here. I'll get your thoughts in a sec. I'll be honest with you. Like I prefer Frevola as a fighter. I think he's or Frevola, I should say. My apologies, pronouncing it wrong. I like Frevola. I mean, he's got huge knockout power. We had that nice little run there. We've seen him have some great fights in the UFC. He's a fun fighter, man. I prefer watching him fight much more than Ziam. But at the same time, Ziam's very effective with what he does. He can make fights boring and grind them out, or slow the pace down and win the fight. So I'm kind of leaning Ziam. I was hoping to get him as an underdog, to be honest with you. He is the slight favorite here, but I'll take Ziam to win a decision. I think he can just kind of mix it up and win a close one on the scorecards. What are you thinking? And he's also from France. He doesn't hurt. So what do you think?
I kind of fully agree with you on this, man. I felt like Frevola should be the favorite here. That's what I expected. And then I would say Ziam is in France. I think it will be close. I think Ziam will use a lot of control time into the fight, Frevola got a good chance, I mean, he even knocked out fucking Dudo, but I absolutely didn't expect that, Yeah. I like Frevola a lot, but at the same time, man, Ziam can make it like a boring kind of grindy fight,
Yeah.
If he does, he can win the decision here. So for me, I also felt like to go with Ziam here. Ziam is also on a nice streak since his comeback in the UFC. He actually got cut 2022, and they took him back because they went to France, and now he's on a 3-fight win streak. Picking Ziam here as well by decision. Yeah.
Again, he's taller, longer reach, younger, from home country. It all makes sense to me, so I think he gets the job done. All right, we'll go to the next fight here. We have Morgan Charriere, the last pirate, taking on Gabriel Fly Miranda, one of the best mustaches in MMA, right? Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
After this one, Morgan's minus 535, huge favorite. Miranda plus 400. I really like Gabriel Miranda, but I don't love this matchup for him coming in on short notice. I'm kind of pissed off a little bit because he had such a nice win in his last fight. Goes to was it Australia, New Zealand, whatever it was. Gets that win over Shane Young, hometown guy, basically, and then they put him on the bench for a year, and he has to take a short notice fight. It's kind of shitty for him. So don't love the circumstance here. Taking on Morgan Charriere, who, let's be honest, I think he should have won that last fight. I don't know if it was a robbery, but I think he should have beaten Chepe, which would look so much better now. He had that great win over that Manolo Zucchini guy who kind of disappeared, Marcel. He's looked great. Tons of experience. His record's not that good. 19-10. It's crazy, right? But I think a lot of the losses were early in his career, and a lot of them were like close, like split decision types too. So he's just a good fighter, man. He's solid. And I was waiting for him to sign with the UFC for a while. He hasn't disappointed me yet. 2 bonuses in his first 2 fights. I think this is a good fight for him to actually finish the fight, to be honest with you, Marcel. I think he can finish this fight. So, unfortunately for Gabriel Miranda, and I really like this guy in his mustache, but I think he can get knocked out here. So, that's my pick. What do you think?
Man, I mean, Miranda has that, how do you say that? He can win by submission. You know, he has that guy who has the good submission in this game. You know, he was actually supposed to fight Billy Q in March, but he got injured, I think. So, Billy Q got Salal instead.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah, Charriere got that win in his debut against Zucchini, like you said. And then he got that close loss to Chepe Mariscal, which was a great fight. I mean, I think Miranda can surprise. At the same time, I feel more confident here in picking Morgan Charriere. You know, I think he's more overall complete. And he can put him away, I think. I'm taking Charriere here. Does he finish him? Very much possible. Also possible to get a decision win here. But, I'm picking Charriere probably by TKO in the second round.
Yeah, we have the same one. Okay, let's go to the next fight here, guys. We have, this is a fun fight too, Kevin Jousset taking on Bryan Battle. And I like this fight. Good matchmaking, in my opinion. Battle's favored. Minus 175, Jousset plus 145. Okay, so I think it's a really good fight. I'll say that. I think that the underdog can win this fight too. This is another dog fight, I think, where he could come through. But at the same time, like, I'm pretty high on Bryan Battle, man. Like, I feel like this is a good fighter who's improving constantly. Every time we see him fight, he looks better than ever. I think he's beatable. We've seen him lose like the Renat fight. I think he's beatable. I just don't know if this is the opponent that beats him. I think like a wrestler type beats him. I don't know if a striker type beats him. Do you say he's looked good though in the UFC? I mean, I think he's looked really solid 2-0. I know he had that submission win. I consider him more of like a striking based fighter though, personally. He's solid, man. It's going to be a close fight, I think, but I do think Battle can win probably a decision. I think, you know, he could stop him. I think it's more of the finishing upside here, but you say he's only been stopped once, so his doctor stoppage pretty tough. Well trained, obviously. There's a lot to like about you say too, man. You know, but I think Battle can beat him here, so I'll take Battle to win. But again, you know, it's kind of, I don't think it's a complete, you know, washout by any means. So, what are you thinking here?
How would the French call Bryan Battle? Brillant Battle? I mean, Bryan is already in Paris. So, yeah, I mean, Kevin Jousset is actually funny, man. I think it's his first time fighting in France. Well, he's from France, but he lives and trains in New Zealand, right?
Yes,
kickboxing. So both guys don't actually have the home advantage if it comes to acclimatizing, or however the fuck you say that. But you know what I mean. I think it's a close fight, although I have more faith in Bryan Battle. If you look at Kevin Jousset, he's doing so good so far in the UFC, but Kiefer Crosby, not really UFC material, I think. And Sankanan is like borderline UFC fighter, you would say, I think, right? That's how you guys say it, borderline UFC.
Yeah, well, he looked great against Ricky Glenn, although I don't know what, you know, to make of that, right? So
yeah, exactly. So Bryan Battle was looking good against Ange Lusa until the no contest with the eye poke. Yeah. I'm picking Bryan Battle here, man. I don't think he gets a finish. He goes to a decision, but I don't think it will be a close one. I think it will be a decisive one for Bryan. Although Kevin will do well, but I think Bryan makes it clear in 3 rounds that he's the better fighter. So I'm going with Bryan Battle here.
All right, there we go. All right, let's go to the next fight here, guys. We have William Gomi taking on Anderson Brito. William Gomi, that's how he says it, right? How does he say it in the media guide? You could do it.
Yeah. My name is William Jaguar Gomi.
So there you go. Taking on Joe Anderson Brito Turbo. Fun fight. I mean, obviously, great fight. Brito's a big favorite. Minus 270, Gomi plus 220. Bro, these odds seem really high on this fight. I got to be honest. Like, I think Gomi's a pretty good fighter. He's solid. You know, he's solid everywhere. He's a guy that can. He's another guy that he's kind of like Ziam a little bit. He can make a fight boring and then come through with the win at the end, right? Like, I think he's pretty solid though. I mean, Brito, how do you not pick him here with the win streak he's on, finishing everyone? He's looked amazing, knocking guys out, submitting them. he's looked great. And that win over Diego Lopez, I know it was the technical decision eye poke, but dude, he still won. And that win looks fucking great now, doesn't it, Marcel, in hindsight? So there's a lot to like about him. I do keep that fight with Bolaji in the back of my mind because like he got a little bit tired there and got a little bit, I think he got a little bit out wrestle at the end, but I don't know if that's what happens here. I think it's probably more of a striking based fight. If anything, like maybe he's the one shooting for takedowns. I don't know. I don't think he finishes Gomi, but I think he can win the decision. I'll take Joe Anderson to keep the win streak going. What are you thinking?
Yeah, interesting fight, man. If you look at Gomis, he has 3 wins in the UFC. He got that debut win against Jarno Aarons, my countryman.
Yeah.
But he got almost submitted in the 3rd round. Then he fights Francis Marshall. He looks good. And the 3rd round, he almost also got in trouble, Then he fight Yannis Gamouri, and he has that really weird TKO last year in France. Yep. Then he has 3 fights that didn't happen. I think at the weigh-ins he got ill last time.
Right.
He was supposed to fight against Jean Silva, right? Didn't happen. Then you go Joe Anderson Brito. That fight, that win over Diego Lopez, is a great win if you look at it now. At the same time, Diego took that fight on 4 days' notice. So also take that in mind. Joe Anderson Brito, besides the Aljo fight, he has done well in the UFC. Although Jack Shore didn't do worse, Jonathan Pierce didn't do bad against him, He was actually doing pretty well until he got caught in the choke. For me, it's either Brito by stoppage or maybe Gomis by decision. I'm going Brito. I think he catches him at a certain moment. I might put him away with a submission. I'm going 2nd round submission win for Joe Anderson Brito. I know Gomis also only lost once by submission, and it was actually against Morgan Charriere, but there can be a 2nd time. So,
I mean, there you go. I'm thinking more of a decision, but it's possible for sure. I know you sent the message. Oh, I see. Thank you for your comment. That makes sense. Yeah, I think it's live too, Tristan. I think it's live too. I think it's possible. All right, let's go to the next fight here. We have co-main event, Marcel. This is 3 rounds, right?
Yeah.
I wish this was 5.
Yeah, Alan did as well.
Alan wanted 5, but Imavov didn't?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird. Imavov looked better than ever in the 4th round against Cannonier. Anyways. Nasruddin Imavov taking on Brendan Allen. This isn't like a number 1 contender fight because middleweight's kind of backed up, but the winner of this fight is going to be close to a title shot. It has to be. Minus 218 Nasruddin and plus 180 Brendan Allen. What are you going to say?
It's all to do with timing, right? I mean, if one guy gets injured in the other fights, then this fight might be a number 1 contender fight. We never know.
I'm still thinking Strickland gets that shot, but again, Hamzat wins or Whitaker, you never really know, right? I really like Brendan Allen. He's done great. He's on, I think it was eight straight wins now, right? It's amazing.
A lot. Yeah, 8. I think.
Sorry, 7. It's 7. My apologies. 7
with like 5 rear naked chokes. Or
9 out of 10. Yeah, he's got 5 rear naked chokes in the 7. He's really good. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I also feel like Imavov's really good too, man. And yeah, the fight with Cannonier was a fight that I don't think should have been stopped, but I thought he was winning the fight. I was surprised how good he looked against a really good fighter in Jared Cannonier. Jared's solid, man. And I know he just got beat by Kyle, but still, Jared's a solid fighter. That to me is such a... Yeah, he's so good. So, to me, Cannonier, I don't want to say he's a gatekeeper now because I think he's really good, but it's almost like he's the gatekeeper to the top 5. Which I think is where Imavov is right now. I just think Imavov, this is a good fight for him, I think, because I don't see him really getting taken down in this fight. I think it stays on the feet. I think he's the better striker, longer striker. Hometown, he's Russian, but I mean, I'm pretty sure he lives in Paris, right? If I'm not mistaken. Or trains there at least. Or
trains lives there.
Yeah, there you go. So, I like Brendan Allen a lot. I mean, people are going to be tempted by the odds here, obviously, because he's on a nice win streak. He's a good fighter, good submissions. Improving striking, but I like Imavov quite a bit in this fight, dude. I really do. I think he wins a decision. I think he wins. I think he probably wins all 3 rounds. Maybe he wins 2, but I think he wins the fight. What do you think?
Yeah, man. Here we go.
Another dog. Wow, you have like 5 or 6. I don't blame you though. I think a few of them to win.
I'm picking Brendan Allen here, man. I think I like Brendan Allen a lot. I know his striking is still not like amazing, but I think he's getting better every time. I know he struggled with Curtis in the later rounds. At the same time, Imavov almost never impresses me for some reason. I know he won against Cannonier, but
early on, he didn't look good against Cannonier. You know, he won against Dolice, and then he faded again against Dolice. So it's like Ailin. I think if Ailin can get it to the ground, I think he's a better grappler than Imavov. I think maybe a lot of people will say I'm crazy, but I think he's a better grappler than Imavov. He'll get it to the ground somehow. I think maybe second round, and I'm taking Brandon Ailin. I'm taking him even by rear naked choke again.
There you go. So big upset here, potentially for Marcel. Let's go to the last fight here. Main event: Benoit Saint-Denis taking on Renato Moicano. Very fun fight here in the lightweight division, and the odds for this one have BSD is a pretty big favorite here. Marcel, BSD is minus 270, Moicano plus 220. Yeah, I like Moicano a lot. Obviously, I mean, who doesn't? The guy's hilarious, and he's a good fighter, right? He's got amazing submissions. It's crazy. Him and Ailin, I think, have the most rear naked chokes in the UFC, and they're fighting back to back. Marcel, well, that's interesting. He's obviously coming off that amazing comeback win over Jalen Turner, where he looked like he was dead, and Turner fucked up and turned his back on his opponent and walked away, and then he survived and then beat the shit out of him. He had that war with Dober, had the win over Riddell. I mean, he's looked good. He's looked really fucking good. I love this guy. I think he's awesome. He's good for the sport, you know. At the same time, though, Marcel, I mean, we've seen him get finished many times in the UFC, and now he's taking on BSD, who's a killer. Who, yeah, he got finished by Poirier, which I did call, by the way, as an upset. Before that, had won 5 straight fights, 3 by brutal knockout. He's got really big power. He's fighting at home. He's going to be super motivated coming off that loss. UFC's giving him this main event slot. He's tough as hell. We know how hard he is to finish. I mean, I don't know how you don't take BSD here, man. I have to pick him. The line looks a little inflated, but at the same time, I think he finishes the fight, so I don't know how inflated it really is. I think BSD knocks this guy out probably in the first round, maybe second, but I think he's going to have the biggest win of his career here. And what are you thinking, man?
Every time I think about Moicano, I have to think about his podcast where he was doing a tier list, and he was Jose Aldo. He's like, yeah, Jose Aldo, he's a legend. And then somebody in the comments said like, Jose Aldo made Moicano cry. So he was reading. It's like, this guy says Jose Aldo make Moicano cry. You know who Moicano made cry? Your fucking mother when I was laying the pipe. That's so hard.
I remember you told me that. It's so jokes.
So out of nowhere, man. I mean, guy is fucking hilarious. He's a good fighter, man. He came back from the dead almost against Turner.
I don't know how he won that fight. It's crazy.
Yeah. So good for him. Now he's fighting Benoit Saint-Denis. We're both pretty high on Benoit Saint-Denis, you know. I mean, you picked Poirier in that fight. I picked Benoit. I really think this sounds like a bad loser, but I really think that the staff had something to do with it, with his adrenaline dump in the second round against Poirier, because he looked really good in the first round against him. The thing is, like, BSD won't be afraid of Moicano's ground game because he has a good ground game himself, and he has knockout power, you know. I think better striking than Moicano has. I'm picking BSD here as well. I think he finishes it as well, probably by TKO, ground and pound, maybe round 1, round 2. I think will be an early finish.
This card's gonna be good. I'm just double checking the time that it starts at, because I know it's an earlier card.
For me, it's the main card for me is 9 p.m. So that's 3 p.m. for you.
So it starts at noon on Saturday, which is noon, which is your time 6, right, for the prelims.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So we have again 14 fights. So 8 prelims, 8 prelims, 6 main card. Hopefully no one gets hurt, but you get 14 fights because I want to see them all. I'm looking forward to this card, guys. It's gonna be a good one. Pato's in the chat. He likes Gomi. I mean, I think he's got a chance.
Definitely,
right?
man. Yeah.
There's some fights on here that are 50-50. Marcel picked like 5 or 6 underdogs. We'll just run through it really quick. We had one consensus dog, Altamirano. Marcel picked Daria. He picked Erslan. He picked Ailin, right? And then I'm forgetting one, right? Who was the other one? Cornolle. You picked.
Nora Cornolle. Yeah.
Yeah. So Marcel picked the punch, which I don't blame him because I think there's a few of these fights that are competitive. So he's taking both the women underdogs too, Marcel. You love the lady underdogs, eh?
I mean, you know, 9 out of 10. Now I sound like Johnny, but 9 out of 10 times those women fights go to a decision, you know, and it's like super close, split decision. And Nora fighting at home, you know, and Daria is actually also pretty much from Paris. She's training with MMA Factory, I think. So I mean, I'm not saying that
there are biased judges or whatever, but they have more
yes,
support.
You are.
Yeah, but they have more support over there. So it's like when I say, when you fight somewhere in a different country, and if somebody hits you, it's more of a cheer for that person than the opponent from a different country, So.
Question: do you watch the Napoleon Bonaparte MMA content? I don't.
I only know him from the French. He was from Napoleon Bonaparte was a French Revolution or whatever. What is that?
Yeah. It must be an MMA guy that has the same name. I don't watch it though. Sorry.
No idea. Who is that crazy Pato?
It's probably some YouTuber, but hey, let them talk about us on their podcast. All right, let's go to Contender Series. We're going to recap last week's really quick. So I'll get your thoughts. I'll run through the fights and I'll get your thoughts. So what are you barking for? What,
just for fun.
Oh, okay. There was, I think
we only have one. I think we had one pick wrong. I think, right?
Yeah, we did good, dude. We've been doing good lately, which is crazy. Like, I almost feel like we've been doing better on this than UFC lately. But anyways, we had. Or I shouldn't say we had. We'll just go through the fights quickly. Elijah Smith defeats Aaron Tao, wins a contract. Taliesin Teixeira defeats Arthur Lopez, wins a contract. Benjamin Bennett defeats Joey Hart, doesn't get a contract, split decision.
That's the one I had. That's my mistake.
That went wrong too. Atiba Gauthier defeats Yura Nato by knockout, gets a contract. The guy looked good. We both picked him. Maybe he was an underdog. I can't remember now.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. And then Ahmad Hassanzadeh, we both picked him. He had the submission. So we talked. You're obviously in the Discord. I got your thoughts. I think you said you would have given out 2 contracts, or was it 3? I can't remember.
I would give it to Elijah Smith. I would have gave it to what's the guy's?
Taliesin Teixeira, that guy.
Yeah, and maybe to Gauthier as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I wouldn't have gave it to Hassanzadeh.
Well, Dana White didn't want to, but Sean Shelby said he wanted the guy. So yeah, I don't think he's that great. I think he's going to lose in the UFC, but you know what? He had a nice little comeback here. Yeah, it was overall like a decent card. We had I think was it 3 finishes, and then the fight in the main event was a good fight too. I think the Tao guy will probably get a short notice fight or like another contender fight.
Yeah,
it did mention Arthur Lopez. I think Mick Maynard likes him, and they want to bring him in at 205. I thought he looked fun to watch. Like he was throwing bombs against a huge guy, just not in the right weight class, right?
I think this is a big problem with the Contender Series, actually, man. And maybe you disagree with me. Some of these guys look really reckless,
Yeah.
And when they hit and they get the knockout, then it's like, oh my god, let's sign them.
I know.
I was like, dude, I sure,
Well, they're trying to impress Dana. That's the thing, right? They always talk about it. It's a job interview. You can't just win a decision. You saw Benjamin Bennett. He grinded it out. It's a close fight. Grinded it out. Dana's like, sorry, man.
I didn't like the fight at all, man.
I didn't think it was a great fight either. Afterwards, he's like, that was such a war. I was in a war. We're like, I don't know about that, man. I don't think he won either. So, but yeah, I don't know. The Lopez guy looked fun to tell, dude. He's throwing bombs from his waist. Like, they'll bring him back at 205, I think. Craig, the chat's hilarious. That's funny, Craig. All right, next thing I should say. Yeah, Contender Series, really quicker, Marcel. Go through the picks. I didn't see odds yesterday, but they might have come out. Do we not have odds for this? Oh no, we do now. We do. All right, let's go through this really quick. I looked yesterday. Okay, they came out today. That's why. I thought they'd come out sooner. Like you think that the odds makers would be. I guess they're busy with NFL or something because like they should get them out earlier. All right, let's go through this really quick, Marcel. Bailey Schoenfelder taking on Danilo Vodkin and Bailey minus 660 and this Danilo guy plus 420. I got to be honest, I don't know anything about the other guy. I know that Bailey is supposed to be a good prospect. What do you think for this one?
Yeah, the other guy's undefeated, right? This is pretty much a fight for they make this fight for Bailey to get into the UFC, I think, At the same time, this guy's undefeated. Who knows? He can land something, but I would go with Schoenfelder, but yeah.
All this guy's knockouts are in the first minute, or one of them is actually a submission that came in the first round. But
yeah, it's all first round.
The opposition's horrible. The guy he submitted is 12-53. Holy crap! Now he's 12-54. He's terrible. So
for Jay Ellis.
You know what though? You know what this fight does remind me of though? Remember that fight? What's that guy? Fuck, what's the guy's name? Ihor Potieria.
Yeah.
Remember? He had a big upset win, a contender, I'm pretty sure.
Against a Polish guy, yeah.
Yeah, and everyone's like, "Oh, this guy has a padded record." Like I mean, he had more fights to be fair, but I remember everyone counted that guy out, and he was. I'm going to check the odds right now. The guy's name was Lucas Sadolski.
Yeah.
He was like plus 200 dog. It wasn't huge, but I remember everyone was counting him out, and he knocked him out. So you never know. It's contender, right? But yeah, I mean, probably Bailey finishes this guy, and probably makes it look easy, Marcel. Then at welterweight, Daniel Frunza taking on Vadim Kutsi, and the odds for this one have Vadim minus 238, Frunza plus 180. I'm not too familiar with these guys. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, same thing, man. I would pick the guy from Belarus probably, or Belarus.
Okay.
But I think the other guy is a Romanian Italian, right?
Yeah,
he's
LFA.
decent.
Yeah,
he's decent, but I'm taking the other guy, but I'm not sure. Don't put your money on.
I'll be honest. I'm not too familiar with these guys. I've heard of Frunza because I did a little bit of LFA. Oh, he's from Brave FC. Oh, he knocked out Nardiev. Okay, he hasn't fought in 2 years though. I'm not too familiar with the guy.
It's so weird that they have guys on that have it for 2 years, sometimes not for 4 years, man. It's so weird.
Yeah, like Arthur Lopez. Well, he just fought, but it was like 6-year layoff, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Francesco Mazzeo taking on Kevin Christian at 205. So we'll get some light heavyweight blood here. Christian minus 160, Mazzeo plus 120. Again, not super familiar with these guys. I'm just going to look at their records really quick.
I'm picking
Mazzeo,
Christian.
Cage Warriors guy. Sorry?
Picking Christian here, pure to annoy our friend Alfredo Zulino. So now I'm thinking Christian here, man. I think Mazzeo is pretty.
Another LFA guy. I mean, a lot of fighters are coming for that promotion in this year's Contender Series. Also, he also found that Mr. Cage promotion, which I know you like that one, right?
Brazil,
Mr. Cage. Yeah.
It's funny that they also call the women who got champion there Mr. Cage.
Like Ketlin Souza.
Vieira as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Kevin Vallejos taking on Cam Teague at 145. This is a fun fight. Vallejos minus 345, Teague plus 250. What do you think about those odds? Pretty heavy odds. What do you think?
You have to do a better pronunciation about Kevin's last name.
Vallejos? Is it wrong?
Vallejos.
Vallejos?
Yeah, because the double L in Argentina is sh, so it's Vallejos.
All right, I believe you. My pronunciation is fine. My apologies.
I'm not just saying.
I remember him though. He fought obviously John Silva, so I remember the guy. But yeah, my pronunciation was shit. I just think like this T guy undefeated, coming from Fury FC where he knocked out Austin Lingo. Bro, I mean he's got to be a live dog here plus 250. Like, am I crazy? What do you think?
Yeah, I love the Lingo name, by the way, because Lingo is like a game show over here on TV. It's like rubbing balls. It's super good. Yeah, man, this can be an interesting one, you know. Yeah, difficult, man. I mean, you kind of get me thinking about this one now. But
Vallejos.
But I'm going with. I still think I have to go with Vallejos here.
He's never been finished, but like Cam Teague, man, like again, Austin Lingo had never been finished. I don't think. I remember his fight with Costa, where Melky was just kicking his body, he couldn't go down. So to me, that's a nice win. Anyways, women's fight here, 115. Rose Conceição. I can't. Again, these pronunciations are horrible. Conceição. Thank you. And then Alexia Feninara. So horrible pronunciations by me. My apologies. Rose minus 145. Alexia plus 114. Now, to be fair, again, we haven't seen them fight yet. I'll get the pronunciation back. But yeah, what do you think? I know Rose, she fought in LFA too, right? She's the champ there. So I know her. She had a nice run. And then the other girl, was she from LFA too? She might have been.
Alexia Tanara, she's trained by
Jungle
fight. But she's trained by Marcelo Ribas. Amanda's
nice.
dad. Yeah.
Only one loss to Bruno Brazil.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, I don't know. Thoughts? I guess the favorite?
Fun matchup, man. I mean, I think Tanara got the fight pretty much, not really short notice because it's been known for some time, but I think Rose Conceição was supposed to fight Fatima Klein, actually, you know, but Fatima got the call to fight Jasmine Jasudavicius. I mean, I think it will be a close fight, man. Tanara can win, Conceição can win. I'm not sure, man. We'll see. It's a fun matchup. It's two Brazilians. Looking forward to it.
There you go. Okay, I'll a few more comments here. Yeah, you like to share, huh? Who's your mobster fight? I mean, I think Lopez, but Lopez doesn't want to fight him now because he's ranked higher. So it's kind of funny how the tides have turned. I mean, at this point, mobster should take whatever fight they give him, right? At this point,
he said he would take every fight they give him. So yeah,
he's been in camp. He can't. Yeah, he's got to get paid. Mossor and Bryce Mitchell. Have they fought? I can't remember. Did they fight?
I think they have been matched up before, but they never fought, I think.
Yeah. Conor McGregor looked like the biggest fool last night, everyone avoiding him. I saw him. Oh, I don't know. Like, I don't watch boxing, but I caught that knockout. Obviously, the Anthony Joshua got knocked out by Daniel Dubois. You saw that?
Yeah, I saw. Yeah, obviously. I mean, I'm on Twitter.
Bro,
so
5 knockdowns, I think. That's crazy. Like, that's the guy who destroyed Francis. He got destroyed in this fight. Yeah, I know Conor. I was watching him like, wait, isn't that Conor right there? He's fucking behind them, jumping up and down. He's having fun, man. He's enjoying his life, but he's never fighting again. Teague's a walking target. Okay, so you're pretty sure he's going to lose. Okay, we'll see what happens. I was watching live when Teague used his chin to make Lingo tired and death gas. Okay, well, we'll have to see how that goes because I don't think it'll go well in this fight if it happens. Vallejos, not Vallejos, Vallejos.
I think it's Vallejos, but
let's see how they pronounce it on Tuesday. How about that? Let's see that, guys, because all 3 of us have fucking different pronunciation. Mine was definitely the worst one, though, so didn't really finish it. I mean, it looks like a finish on paper, but I guess I see what you're saying. Dana. Oh yeah, I didn't watch that fight though, but I saw the knockout too.
Totally.
I know. What's the guy's name? Callum Smith? Is that his name? Callum Walsh. He's Tabitha Ricci's boyfriend. That's kind of how I know him more. So he's a nice prospect. Dana's gonna do boxing now. Are you gonna watch Dana White boxing?
Nah, I don't care. He kind of looks like Machine Gun Kelly before he lost it. You know.
What do you care more about, Power Slap or Dana boxing?
Obviously, I care more about boxing, but Dana boxing. I mean, who gives a shit? You know. I mean, he should do whatever he wants. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, Luke Riley. You think he goes to the UFC?
If he gets his visa in check, you know, because he was supposed to fight Vallejos, actually, you know, on the upcoming card, but his visa was a problem, so that's why he fought for Cage Warriors.
Demir needs to get back to UFC after a recent finish.
Yeah, it was a sick knockout, man.
Dude, did he get cut or did his contract expire?
I think he didn't have any. How do you say that? He didn't felt anymore to fight for some reason, and then he didn't fight anymore.
Yeah.
And now he's back again. I think he feels the rush again or whatever, you know. So good for him, you know.
Yeah. Do you know if there were any other matchmaker candidates when other than Mick Mayer when Joe Silva retired? Well, I mean, Joe Silva technically retired, but the reason they retired is because he got paid out of his ass when they sold the company, so he got a huge check. So he didn't need to do it anymore. I thought Joe Silva was a good matchmaker, though, and I loved his reactions. That was one of my favorite. Marcel, freak the fuck out. It was awesome. I used to always watch for it.
He walks in the cage. Shakes
their hand, right? And if he had lost, he was just like, be like, you suck. I'm not even going to talk to you. But no, I like Joe Silva a lot because he was like a fan of the sport. He was like trading tapes with people for years in this basement, and I think he was West Virginia. I read the story. It's crazy, but obviously he's not doing it anymore. To answer that question, I can't think of anyone.
They got McMahon from LFA, right?
Yes.
WC Shelby.
That was he came from the WC. So there's some rumors that maybe the guy that does LFA could come to the UFC if one of these other matchmakers leaves. What's the guy? I don't know his name, to be honest.
I don't even know his name either.
I think maybe him or the guy from Fury FC. Those guys potentially. If they need another matchmaker, because those are the closest promotions the UFC works with.
Honestly, right? Bro, I don't give a fuck who it is as long as they make good fights.
As long as the fights are good, it doesn't matter, right? But hey, they could. What's that guy's name? Rich Chow. They could bring him in. Former Strikeforce Bellator. He tried his best in Bellator, man. He was great in Strikeforce, though. Roger Huerta's fighting. God, he shouldn't be fighting. He's got to be 45.
Matador.
Jesus. Daryl Ward film is part of that sucks, man. Fuck. Dana White on 3 not anything. Then Ice Bath Uncle Fest. The comments are just killing me here. Demir filed the contract. Thinks go to PFL and get the $1 million. He probably does win the tournament in PFL. CFC crying based on you mentioning LFA and Fury being the closest they work with. Zach, you're the man. I don't care what they think, to be honest. But yeah. I mean, obviously they have a good relationship too, but
and Zach, you're late.
Mike, yeah. Zach, glad to have you, man. Mike Hogan, he's working really high up in Bellator now. He used to be an agent. He was King Mo's agent and some other guys, but he follows me on Twitter too. I mean, I've known him for a while, but these guys have been in the business forever. I mean, a lot of these guys have been in the business longer than 15, 20 years.
I think King Mo always was Rampage when Bjorn Ratney was still there.
Yeah.
He's like afterwards Rampage or that King Mo, you dick rider, you fucking dick rider. That was funny.
I got to, speaking of the match readers, I got to meet Sean Shelby once, and he was awesome. I talked to him. This is 10, 11 years ago now, and I got to meet him. And he was really cool. We talked for like an hour. I mean, it was great. We were at this after UFC or pre-party before UFC 165. Jonas Gustafsson was at the Fight Network, and all these people were there. Chris Weidman was there. Elias Theodore, rest in peace, he was there. Phil Davis was there. Joe Silva was there. Ariel was there. Tons of James was there. James and me went together. But yeah, Sean Shelby was there, and I talked to him for like a good hour. And I remember I was just like, sorry?
Dark room.
No. John, by the way, John Morgan was there too. Just Zach, if you're listening, John Morgan that's when I got to meet John for the first time. This is 11 years ago. But I remember I talked to Sean, and I'm like, I need to go talk to this guy because at the time, I don't know if he was at the UFC or maybe he just started. I think he would just started with them. I guess WC had just finished. But I was just like, how long have you been like doing this for? And he told me his first event. I'm looking at it right now. He said, oh, I've been doing this for like a while, man. 2001. And I'm looking at it now. It was called IFC Shogun. That was the event. And I'm looking at the card, Marcel. On this card were like and he match made this card. He said it was the first one he did. Robbie Lawler's on the card. Josh Thompson, Kid Yamamoto, rest in peace. Dwayne Bang Ludwig, Yves Edwards, Aaron Brink, your favorite fighter, Marcel. You love that guy. Cabbage Carrera, he was on it, and Dennis Hallman. So I mean, the card was full of veterans. And I remember we were talking, and I was just like, damn, this guy, he's like an encyclopedia of knowledge. So like some of you got, and I love it. I definitely get some people saying, dude, you know so much about the sport. And I'm like, I know, but there's some people that know even more than us, Marcel, which is crazy. So yeah, mad respect for those guys. What are you gonna say?
Who's Aaron Brink again?
You know who he is, Marcel? He's that porn star, male porn star. Is he dead or no?
Yeah, he passed away, man.
Yeah. So.
Oh, Dick Delaware. Yeah, of course.
I've seen this video.
I'm just seeing.
That's why Marcel was late to the podcast. He's watching that shit.
Love it. That's like that you, man. You and Jess Khalifa. So.
Fuck you, man. I love ribbing Marcel. He loves ribbing. All right, a couple of comments. I find shady Mike Hogan's dominant employee in Dalton. Is he? I didn't know he worked for dominant, but yeah, I mean the whole thing with Ali and everything is just beyond sketch, obviously. A couple other comments. Told you guys my schedule. Oh yeah, Zach's busy watching regional MMA. We had breakfast with Mick Maynard. That's awesome. Yeah, Mick's Marcel loves Mick Maynard. Marcel just dreams about him talking to him in his ear and reading a storytime book to him before he goes to bed.
I mean, the funny thing is, like, Mick Maynard has like really that kind of voice, So I was like, Mick Maynard should do audiobooks, but I meant it in a good way. He actually unfollowed me on Twitter, so I think
you wrote that and he said that? Is that what happened?
No, I didn't wrote it to him, but I just said it on Twitter. But I probably saw it, so I didn't like it. Maybe
you know what?
But...
He used to follow me too, and he stopped following me. I just think he's fucking sick and tired of listening to people think that we didn't say anything bad, but yeah, I remember someone messaged him once, and they're like, these cards now are like weak, and he's like, which card's weak other than that one card? I can't remember what card he mentioned. He's like, there's only been one card that's been shit. Everything else is amazing or something. And we're like,
I know everybody's tweeting him what is that card.
Remember that? What card? I think he was talking about that Brooklyn card. I'm pretty sure that one with Collie Home and Jermaine. I'm pretty sure that's the card he was talking about.
I don't know when it was, man.
Maybe it's a different card. I could be wrong. But I remember that card sucked. I would ask someone, dude. I talked the guy's ear off for an hour. Yeah, he was great. Fun fact: Sean Shelby is Tom Brady's cousin. No way. Are you serious?
No idea, dude.
Holy shit, he is too. What? Okay. Well, apparently, I see Jedi Goodman tweeted about it. Excuse me, guys. Yeah. Holy crap. I had no idea.
No, I also had no idea. Not that I really care about it, but I had no idea.
Dana White said this, apparently.
Okay.
It's his cousin.
Dana White also said that women never would fight in the UFC. So I'm just kidding.
I actually think this one might be legit, though. I mean,
I believe it.
I also wonder, like, how do you get all these opportunities? It makes sense when his, first cousin is, the GOAT, right? Literally the GOAT. Or the Dana White would probably be like, no, John Jones is the best football player of all time. Ghost was on, man. You came at the very end, my friend. I think we should sign off here, Marcel. We're gonna ghost.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna ghost. But yeah, we're gonna get out of here, guys. But we're gonna start another one. I'm just doing like 10, 15 minutes more. So to do fight announcements, I just have to do it this way. To do 2 separate ones. But yeah, I mean, we enjoyed doing the preview for UFC Paris. We'll be back with you guys probably next Sunday. I would imagine maybe next Monday, probably Sunday. I think Marcel will do the recap for this card and the preview for the next one. But hope you guys have an amazing week. Good luck with your picks, and talk to you guys soon. And if you can, join us in a few minutes here for the news and fight announcements. Thanks, and we'll talk to you guys soon. If not, we'll see you soon. I appreciate all the comments, guys, by the way. Thank you.